More and more females today are really struggling with the stress and the pressure to hit their sales goals. And so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that today because all of my friends that are females right now are kind of struggling with that, right? They're struggling with the fact that you've got to balance family and time and try to get all that done. And then on top of it, you have these sales goals that you've got to hit. And there just seems to be more and more pressure lately than any time before. And so it's important for us to kind of sit back and think about, a lot of times we as females, like we want to be able to say that, but then at the same time, we're afraid to say that because if we mention that, then it looks like we're not capable or we can't get our work done or anything like that, right? So, how can you overcome some of these things and kind of bring the stress level down, but also focus and really get your job done? Well, first of all, you have to really take the time to break down what you need to do into goals, right? So, a lot of times there's things that we have to do that will definitely be priority over others, right? So I tend to focus like on Sundays and stuff like that. I look at my week ahead and plan what's going on ahead of time, and then I'm able to break that down during the week when I can focus on those priorities itself. Maybe there's a block of time or something where I can schedule something that I know that I'm going to do, but it's really important that we focus on that, right? We all have our priority accounts that we have to call on. We all have like things that we have to do for, our bosses and executives and companies and things like that. But it's also important to realize that if you don't take the time to break down those goals, then you're feeling like you're always running on that hamster wheel, right? And that's the thing that gets us exhausted and gets us stressed out. And the more you get stressed out, the less you get done. So take the time to actually do that first, and then you can bring that stress level down a little bit. Okay. The second thing that you need to do is focus on the activities that are going to drive results, because there's a lot of activities, but are they going to equal the dollars that you have to hit? So if you have a goal or sales goal or whatever, are you doing those activities? Because we can be busy, but if the busyness isn't going to drive results, then that busyness needs to get checked, right? And figure out like, okay, how can we put that on a lower priority or do that at a time when it's not gonna, you know, interfere with anything. So what I'm talking about a lot of time is the things like if you have daytime stuff and that is going to drive results because you're calling customers, you're following up, you're doing all the things that you need to do. Well, that is a thing that you want to prioritize over anything else, right? Because that's going to equal dollars. And you have to constantly be thinking about, is that going to bring me to where I need to be? Or is this just something that I have to do? Because we all have like paperwork, phone calls we have to return, emails that we have to answer. But stop and think, is that going to drive result? And if it's not, we still have to do those things. You just put them in a lower priority and focus on the things first and knock those out first things in the day when you're more alive and vibrant and all that kind of stuff, right? And going along with that is prioritizing your time. Like I said, right? Making that very specifically and using that time and whatever is your best time of the day. Sometimes people function better in the afternoon. Sometimes people function better in the morning, but wherever your focus is better and wherever you know that you can get a hold of your customers, remember, customers are not always available 24 hours a day. Some places like where I am, they don't even open till 9 o'clock in the morning. So perfect time, right? From 7 in the morning or 6 in the morning, whenever you get up, until 9, you can do some of that other stuff that is not going to be causing the things that create the results. So put that time there, chunk that up, and then get going right away at 9 o'clock or whatever that time is that's going to drive those results. And then third and last is seek support from mentors that are going to motivate you. And sometimes it's not within your own company, right? Sometimes it's just people that you know that maybe do the same work you do, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're just a best friend that can like hear you out or whatever, that you're stressed out, right? Because it's really important, because we as women sometimes want to put all the weight on our shoulders and feel like we have to be the face for everything, that we can do it all, that nothing's going to bother us, that we're like Teflon, like we can handle it, right? Because that's how we are. We're kind of built that way, that we can sustain anything, which is true. But you also need a sounding board, and you also need mentors, and you also need people that are going to care about what you do. And so sometimes it's just tapping into somebody that can help you with that and can help you with that motivation. So I hope that this kind of inspired you. Put in the comments below, what things are you going to do differently now that are going to help you focus, bring that stress level down, and so that you have momentum in your sales. I want to hear about it in the comments below. So let me know, and you guys have an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next live. Take care, everyone.